Supposedly. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to News from the Pew After Dark here. We are happy that you guys are hanging out with us on this beautiful October 9th, 2025, where things continue to just happen. And we are going to talk to you all about these happening things. So thank you for hanging out with us. I am Rick Barrett, the founder of the Armed Papists and a bunch of other things that people look into or not. And with me, as always, is the godfather of Catholic alternative media, the one and only Steve Cunningham. Steve, how are you tonight, buddy?
I feel like Wayne and Garth when you said that. With me is like always is Garth.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about. There's things are moving, things are happening, things are going on, and yeah, it just seems like, out of anybody, I actually saw this clip online from Nick Fuentes where he actually talked about how Trump is causing, so much tension in all these different places. And it's actually very interesting between what's going on in Chicago, in Portland, and now you have the things that are happening in the Middle East. And then you have the escalations in other areas. It just seems like another continuing, and now you have the charging of Letitia James in New York because she went after him. So there just seems to be a lot going on right now with all of that. And of course, it's a very good edition of News from the Pew because we are joined by the smartest man out there, and that is Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you, buddy?
Hey, my brother's doing well. Yeah, in the car, so I hope I'm coming early and.
Don't worry, your mic's better than Steve's, so you're fine.
We just started anyways, dude. You're good.
But
I was running tardy.
Yeah, we're all. it is that time. We're all just running tardy. It's fine. But
speaking of tardy, did you see the free speech of the First Amendment's gotten executed today?
Which one?
Burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. They've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts.
I feel so strongly about it, I'm getting rid of it. That's how it is essentially what he's doing. There's an interesting way to look at this. Yes, you could look at the fact that the burning of the flag, just do what all other politicians do. Instead of making it going after that, charge them with agitation or something of that nature. Don't charge them with the actual free speech thing. Allow them to burn the flag. If you really, I'm just saying, Steve, if you really want to pursue like this type of thing, don't be so shallow as to say, well, we're going after the freedom of speech. Charge them with agitation or something stupid like that.
It's already a crime to do some of that stuff. You can get a violation or a vandalism or anything like that.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. If you want to do something like that, I'm totally on board. But when you do like freedom of speech and talking about the courts and all this other kind of stuff, now you're going to lose me on that one. Yeah, the one. If you burn the flag with 1 star, you're gonna get something bad's gonna happen to you.
You will be executed. Or I'm not supposed to say that word. Something happens.
Thank you guys. Good night. So, yes, but don't. It's just it highlights the sloppy way I feel Trump's going about a lot of these things. He's just kind of doing things. And he's kind of embodying the meme, just do things. He is just kind of doing things, but it just seems so short-sighted and just kind of dumb. I don't know. What do you think, John?
Well, there was a Catholic guy who was a big early Trump supporter. He's cooled off now. Michael, I don't remember his last name. One of you guys may end up remembering it. He wrote a few of the early, like that flight, whatever the flight was, where they brought the flight down on 9/11. He wrote an article about the original run in 2015. Goodness, if I could remember his name. But he, in any case, like what he said is that, and I feel like he really nailed it on the head. He said that Trump is a sort of Machiavelli figure because he has actually, unlike almost every other politician that America has had in the last 50 years, he actually got stuff done in the real world, like in the tangible world. I mean, you can argue about the morals with which he got things done, but he actually got things built, and in order to do that you can say modern day America after the 60s, you had to be a character somewhat like Trump to get a lot done and to come out wealthy and not be completely crushed. And so what this guy said, Michael, I wish I could remember his name, but he effectively said that the reason Trump has been so successful, the reason why he'd probably be an effective president, that is, he'd get done more of what the people who voted for him said they wanted done than some of the others, especially like Romney and McCain. That's what he was comparing him to, is because he's more of a Machiavelli figure, which basically means like might makes right. If you've got the power, basically do whatever you want to do. I mean, because the next group's going to come in 4 years, probably at max 8, and they're going to do what they want to do. So you might as well, principles. What are principles? So Trump doesn't have any principles. The principle is basically for him victory. It's if you have the power, do what you got the power to do. So I mean, I feel like that's more or less what he's doing and saying right now. I mean, like Steve said, it's not. There's no sort of principles about free speech or anything else for him. It's just kind of, well, okay, this seems right now, and I like the idea as it seems right now. Therefore, okay, let's do it. So I wish I could remember the guy's name, but if you look up whatever the flight was, the flight where they brought things down on 9/11, it's Michael something or another Catholic guy that was writing about it. Just said that basically Trump's a Machiavellian figure, and that's why he's going to act like this throughout most of his presidency. And I mean, I guess you could say the more successful things he does are probably more that Machiavellian reaction to things.
What Jonathan mentions, Brian McClanahan brought up too a little bit of just do whatever, just go ahead and pound away at things. Like McClanahan used it as they just got done doing this big symposium on the 14th Amendment in Georgia, and he goes, what Trump should do is just go in and just do everything he wants using the 14th, then get rid of the 14th. That way you never have to worry about it again. Because like Arrington brought up with that, it's like the next guy's going to come back and you see him and he's on record pace for executive orders, and it's not even a year. He's already shattered record for bombing Somalia and executive orders. So if he makes it for another 4, holy cow, what numbers are we even looking at on that? He said, might as well just go ahead and bring it down, then cut the cord on the 14th and call it a day afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this, Steve and I, at length, that this is one of those issues about the transition, like almost an official transition from like how Rome had the official transition from democracy or republic to empire. I mean, we are in an empire, don't get me wrong, I understand that, but from an optics standpoint, this is much more of an official transition from a quote unquote democracy or constitutional republic to just an outright Caesar like figure who is just doing whatever he wants. And the thing is, as John so correctly pointed out, he's going to continue to do it because there was a article from Axios earlier in the week where Axios said MAGA base wants Trump to ignore judges and deploy troops. He essentially has the mob, for lack of a better term, at his back. So you have that, similar history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. If you're looking at the transition from a democracy or an empire into a republic or into a dictatorship, you have all of the cues are happening right now. The implementation of the military, the more nationalistic tones and all these other kinds of things. And so, yeah, he better hit it as hard as he needs to, because the retribution, whenever it comes from the left, they have an open template to essentially do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, if I could find that tweet by Posobiec, I'd find it. But the dude tweets more than a 13-year-old girl.
Posebek, who's in the White House yesterday, talking about he was going to be the next target. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was Trent Horn was like, this dude has a better chance of getting sick at the salad bar than being the next target for assassination. So, but
it's like they mentioned about Bishop Martin here, saying that he likes being the person in the cassock. He wants to be in the funeral and the bride at every wedding. Poso wants to be the center of attention in every post, thing, move, everything, all that. He's going out of his way to do it. I mean, the guy, like I said, tweets 17 times in an hour. The reason why I was looking for it is because he was bringing up what you were saying. We got your back. Just go ahead and ignore him. Do what you want to do. We got your back. The mob type mentality on there going. That's right. Yeah. Now, Jack, you're against the Mr. Navy guy is against the Constitution because the guy that pays his bills is all for it.
Yeah, that is the problem that we're seeing, is the escalation of all these things. Now, of course, the left, the gay race communists, have their part to play in this as well, because they are egging it on. They want this to happen because it only emboldens their cause. So you're in this weird dichotomy where people are sick of the left attitude and their hijinks, but the more you try to tamper it down, you're dealing with a spoiled child, the more they're going to rebel, the more they're going to use it. Just look at the picture of the pastor at the ICE facility that was going all over the place, and how they're like, oh, they're going after pastors now. Look at this. And it's just going, okay, I understand why people are sick of this nonsense, but there's not many good endings to what's happening right now. That's really what I'm trying to say, is like, people don't understand that the escalation that this is happening, there's really not a great ending to any of this.
No, yeah. I mean, it's going to get worse and worse, and it's going to, the anger and the frustration, everything's just going to keep on going, escalating, as you said. But yeah, I mean, it's just all been politicized to an exponential level. To you can't do. I mean, you had Kristi Noem doing that, the praying at the ICE detention center facility in Portland, and it's like, oh, look at it. The first thing they did was pray. And I mentioned something. Hey, they're weaponizing religion. Oh, can't believe you said that. Have you ever gone to the table to say pray? Oh, wait, let me start streaming on Instagram. Let me start streaming on Twitter on that. It was a darn scene. I mean, they all got together. Hey, we're going to live stream. Make sure you bring your A game to this. And then they started doing it. That's about as authentic as WWF wrestling.
Yeah, it's all optics, if you want to call it that way. It's all the push for optics, and it's really, if you know, the playing to the base, who's hopped up on this idea post Charlie Kirk, this supposed revival that is happening, this Christian nationalist revival, or starting, or whatever you want to call it, which is not a great thing, because that can also be weaponized. You know, the people are naive enough to think that it's, as Steve says, and as is said on the show many a time, it's only good when our team is doing it. Our team is doing it right now, so it's okay. It's completely fine that we are doing all of these things, because it's just for us. It's just for us, and we are righteous, so we are okay doing it.
I don't know if you watched the Monday Clown Planet. We call it Black Pill Monday, because I mean the first 15 minutes. I mean, if you weren't losing and going, it's over, man, game over. What do we do? What do we do now? Just the 15 minutes opening was just all about the technocracy that's coming in from the digital IDs, leading up to. You brought up Kirk, and it made me think of, you heard of the faith and works thing, or faith by works thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here it is, right? So, show faith by works. There it is right here, if anybody knows it. Where they mentioned, and I remember seeing it where Andrew was it, what's his last name? Slot. I call him Andrew Man of Steel Closet or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah, the guy who's running T-Pusa right now.
Yeah. That guy. The guy that makes up all these fictional things and then tells everyone to donate. He mentioned we were able to geofence how many 70,000 cell phones in here. They knew how many people there because they geofenced everyone in. Now imagine Brandon doing that to you. I mean, this was the good guys apparently, and so these guys have reached out with this group with Israel when they're paying the $7,000 for a post for Israeli propaganda. And
once again, they never reach out to me. They never reach out to me. I
don't know if Jonathan even heard about this. Have you heard of this the show faith by works thing, John?
No, not a word. No.
All right, I'll start over what I was saying. Monday I did the Clown Plan was Black Pill Monday, and the first 15 minutes was about all the digital ID and technocracy going on leading up to this, which after the quote unquote memorial that, by the way, was already found out that it was already scheduled back in May for that Arizona stadium at that time. The Arizona government has actually records of that. Andrew, the guy's in charge now, who came up with the Man of Steel idea, he mentioned on air how they geofenced all the phones around the area to figure out how many people were there. And you're like, wait, time out. That's what the bad guys are talking about. But geofencing is now cool. Fast forward with everything afterwards. The donations that came in from Israel right afterwards, the Zionists. Now they got this push to get the evangelicals all on board on Israel using the southwestern United States. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado are all targeted in this. Maybe it's just a little prelim to get see how it goes, and others. It even comes with the PDF of who's in it, what churches are targeted. They're going after, they're having pastors to do X, Y, Z. They're having like there's a mobile unit that will take you through the atrocities of 10/7, of October 7th, VR reality, all this stuff. They're trying to get Tebow and Curry and
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt
was one of the guys they're looking at.
They're looking at all these guys to use them as literally going college to college, church to church. What is it? Anything that's related. They have all the numbers, these mega churches here. They have everything grafted. They even have they even bring up the form you have to fill out. It's all mentioned about, hey, this is done by Israel, all this stuff. And so what's going to happen is how this works is, as it says here, combat low American evangelical Christian approval of the nation of Israel. And they have, again, there's no Catholic churches on the PDF. I looked at the PDF twice.
Just to make sure.
Yes, because in their program, it says Christian and Catholic churches. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't see that part the first time. Let me look again at the PDF. There's 48,000 First Baptist churches, but they don't have one Catholic one. So anytime you get near any of these churches that are on board with this program, your cell phone is going to get inundated with all these ads for the rest of time about how great pro-Israel is this, you got to do this for Israel, all blah, 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 blah. Anything like that. It's just like a big marketing thing. And we lost.
He'll be back if he has.
John just got raptured.
Well, the rapture already happened, right? Didn't TikTok say the rapture happened already?
There's no real official date, I guess.
And so, I guess the first rapture round 1 was not very successful. So we got to wait for rapture round 2.
It's slow. I think the Calvinists are a little slower.
Yeah. Well, it's like the NFL draft, right?
Yeah.
The first round,
late round.
Yeah. Opening round, not a lot of selections, not a lot of picks. So we'll see, second, third round, usually more people get drafted. So we'll see how it is.
But I mentioned, I'm going, you would think that some people like, I don't know, Lifesite News, Leela.
Lila put out a pro-Israel post. She's getting that $7,000 check. I don't know what
she's getting more. So I'm surprised she ain't, she's not on the link as a sponsor for this thing. But no one's talking about this. This is unless you follow alt media, you had no clue this is going on. And I've retweeted it quite a few times, and still 0.0 of the other talking heads on here have even brought it up. We'll talk about the blessing of the ice till the end of time, but or now everyone's upset about what Leo said in the I guess the latest exhortation that came up. But I mean, you would think, holy cow, the state of Israel is literally geofencing churches inside this union, and no one seems to care.
I know on the post, Timcast has an after show on Rumble because it would get banned on YouTube. And somebody called in and asked about this, and a couple of the guests talked all about it, really more in relation to, it's interesting that you have this marketing campaign, Steve, essentially, because that's what it is. And right on the heels, or right before this supposed quote unquote peace deal that is about to be supposedly started, which I said on my show tonight won't last through the new year. But they have this marketing campaign, this pro-Israel campaign being started. So when this peace deal is broken, they have their PR team essentially in place. They even, I think a lot of people, they caught some of it, Steve. They didn't catch all of this, but they caught some of it when the $7,000 thing went out. And then when they had that little wiry guy who was trying to replace Charlie Kirk, the little bottleneck guy
Brian,
on the private plane. And he was like, Israel is the greatest ally ever. And everybody went, dude, shut up. Because that's the problem. No matter how much they do, they can get Chris Pratt, they can get Stephen Curry, they can get all these people. The Gen Z, Gen Alpha, all those generations have a net negative view of the most favored nation. And I don't think having Chris Pratt go to a college and talk about it is going to, I mean, every time something happens, Pam Bondi's entire Department of Justice comes down if like somebody looks at somebody from most favored nation wrong. So it just doesn't look good. For goodness sakes, we joked about it last week. The government was shut down, even though it's not shut down because people are getting paid. They took Yom Kippur off. It's like, I thought the government being shut down was a big deal, but you're still going to take Yom Kippur off? You're not helping the reputation by doing that. So they can't get out of their own way.
No. So yeah, John, you catch all that. There's pretty much tracking your phone and then throw in ads about pro-Israel content on your cell phone just to try to gin up support. We lost him again.
I guess he didn't, or they got him because they geo-tracked him on that. Yeah. So,
and my apologies. It was 277 that they tracked. 277,000, not the 70,000 I came up. 70,000 was how many people were supposed to get in to the Arizona Superdome, wherever they call it. But 277 cell phones were tracked in the area that were apparently at the
they were around the
WrestleMania event.
Yeah, they were around it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a shock.
And that's the CBS thing. The CBS lady, who is she? A massive Zionist who wrote the whole thing about programming to get the Israeli content on CBS, get the marketing thing. It's a.
You're talking about Barry Weiss?
Yeah.
Being named because she's of Jewish descent, right?
Oh, she's like one of those that put the Ionist and Zionist. She was right there.
So that's not a shock that that's going to be front and center news and front and center stuff to push, because that's
the whole thing about Netflix we talked about. Why are they going after Netflix? Oh, because what Ellison buys Paramount, their direct competition. So now we got to get rid of Netflix because we need the whole Israel. Israel is now controlling the U.S. media, multiple corners.
They even control TikTok now.
TikTok's okay now because Israel runs it.
Yep.
Netflix is bad because Israel doesn't run it. Paramount's good because Israel runs it. CBS is now good because Israel runs it. Now they're geofencing there, dude. And then people are like, oh no, there's some kid, a 22-year-old did the Mormon kid did it. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'll sell you some beachfront property that Elon's building on Mars for you.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good property if you get in now. You got to get in now while the getting's good. But
lots of sand
falling out of the sky.
Not much water, but lots of sand.
Yep. Don't worry. They'll geo engineer the weather in Mars. That's why they're doing it here. They'll geo engineer it to have it, looking like
Maybe they're
Florida.
doing. They're still in the. It's kind of like Spaceballs. They're still in the air to bring to Mars.
You'll have your canned air in on Mars. It'll be fine. But yeah, you have all of this stuff. You have all of this propaganda that is all to counter. Say whatever you will about Candace Owens. Candace Owens, every time she streams, she gets 1 million+ views, and she's on that train. Same with Fuentes. He gets 500,000 on Rumble, for goodness sake. And that's the difference between grassroots and manufactured. They can manufacture as much as they want. They can throw as much money at the problem as they want. But I think there was a study from Brown University of all places. Let me see if I can find it. That gave this absurd number of the amount of money. They tracked out how much money was actually given to Israel over the last 2 years. And it is jaw-dropping when you actually see it. I think it comes out to like $45 million per day when you look at the amount of money we've given the most favored nation. And when people hear that, it doesn't matter if Chris Pratt up there, a millionaire, or Stephen Curry, a millionaire, is like, Israel's great. People are like, yeah, I can't afford food. I don't really care what Israel does or how, what are, that boomer mentality or the Ted Cruz mentality where, those who help Israel will be rewarded and all that other kind of stuff. People just don't care about that. People just don't, because it doesn't impact them here in the real world setting. And so
that's why they got to control the internet, because they're getting outside media news that the U.S. isn't pushing and seeing what's actually going on, and it's ticking a lot of people off or making them sick to their stomachs, saying, "Wait a minute, you're killing kids that are trying to get bread, and we're supposed to be okay with this?" And that, when you start poking that out, that's what can you not kill, and that's an idea. So when you plant that seed, which again, 24 hours beforehand, you have what Candace puts out with the text saying that he's not doing that anymore, and he's dead in 24 when they're about to launch this great gigantic movement around all these colleges. You got to kill that idea before it starts growing roots.
I mean, it definitely gives more weight to those who question the official narrative. It's absolutely
none of us getting killed for talking about getting married and have kids. Hey, that's for darn sure. Not going to take one to the head for saying that.
That's true. Yeah, here it is. A new report from Brown University finds that America has spent $33 billion on Israel in 2 years. That comes to $45 million every single day, and that's $4.85 for every citizen in the country of Israel. American taxpayers have sent every citizen of Israel a $144 check every month for 24 months straight. A family of 4 in Israel is receiving $577 a month in subsidies from Americans for 2 years, while Americans can't get gas, can't get eggs, they can't get food, they can't pay the rent. Israel still has free health care and free colleges and subsidized child care, and they haven't reduced any of their social welfare plans. Meanwhile, Americans are literally paying for groceries with their credit card, same as they've been doing for the past 3 years. And that's Brown University, not a bastion of conservative ideas, believe me.
Ron Paul even brings up, because that's not including the non-monetary things.
Like military support and all that. Yeah, so, and that just goes back to my original statement. They can pour as much money as they want. When Brown University is saying, yeah, people in Israel, they're getting a $577 check every week. People are going, nope. Don't care. I don't care what they promised you, Trump. I don't care if they rename every city in there or every street in Jerusalem after you. It is not a concern for me.
Don't give me any ideas. It probably will. I mean, 83% of the buildings are destroyed.
Well, that's another thing. We're talking about this peace plan. This idea of having this supposed peace plan in effect is absolutely brainwashed. I'm gonna upload this video. We'll take a second. Y'all can watch this.
So you have an understanding of what they perhaps framed out over in Cairo, Egypt. War will end immediately. So the fighting that's still continuing, we saw smoke coming out of Gaza will cease. I don't think that'll be much of a problem. All hostages alive at the cease to be returned within 72 hours. We don't know when the clock actually starts ticking, but let's say Monday, at which time you'll have 20 plus alive and over 50 bodies collected. Right now, that's taking place, we understand, between all the different factions. There are groups that are holding hostages that are not members of Hamas but have the same militant mindset. Israel released 250 people with life sentences. That means more than likely they have killed before. Think about how difficult that is. 1,700 Gazans. Some people have been captured during this fighting. Keep in mind, Yahya Sinwar was one of the people that was exchanged.
They had a lot more before then. There's been thousands of people for decades in their prisons.
For one hostage last time, he ends up being the architect of the October 7th attack. Thankfully, him and his brother are dead. Hamas members can get an amnesty if they decommission their weapons and agree to give up their rockets. That was the sticking point yesterday. We believe somehow they overcame it. Hamas will not have any role in the governance of Gaza, we should hope.
That sounds like those last two, because it's taking the weapons away, taking away the defenses, get rid of the tunnels and all that. And then it talked about they will not have any governance. Oh, I remember hearing about that. It's called reconstruction. How'd that work out for the South?
Yep. Israel will not occupy or annex Gaza. That's not going to be an issue.
And that's where this whole thing will fall apart. Yeah. Maybe some of this, that's why I said this will go until the beginning of the year, right? It'll go through November. It'll go through October, December. They'll do all these kind of little things. January, Israel's going to just steamroll in because that's what they wanted. Steve and I talked about it. We were one of the few that screamed to the heavens when Trump was like, yeah, we're going to take the whole thing. We're going to build beachfront property. Here's this cute AI video of me and Elon and BB eating hummus and hanging out at Trump Tower, Gaza, and all these other kinds of things. But it does not get past this. It does not get past this one right there. There's no way on God's beautiful green earth that he created that Israel will not go into Gaza.
Bibi, you said that countless times. He said that countless times. We're taking that over.
Yep. Yeah. They've talked about like the Trump sons taking over and building stuff there. Yeah. So people are running around saying Trump's the peace president and he needs a Nobel Prize and all these other kinds of things. And I give him credit for
tomorrow.
What?
I think that comes out tomorrow. Who wins the prize?
Yeah, and he was too late, so he's not getting it. I think they're giving it to like a sheep herder or something like that. I don't know, or maybe Greta Thunberg, if you want to get the cue, she might get it too for her brave flotilla into Gaza or something like that. But there's no way this goes past that. No way on God, it's going to absolutely fail. But
if it does, they got what's his face from UK as new prime minister.
Well, it goes. That would be the next one when it talks about the Board of Peace that's chaired by Trump and Tony Blair and all these people. Yeah, it's like, the Board of Peace is just the Board of Redevelopment. That's exactly what it's going to be. Trump even said we're just going to take the Palestinians and relocate them somewhere else.
You got to rebuild somehow. Where are you going to rebuild it to? The same thing? No, we got the casino coming in, baby. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah, dude, it's
so good.
And it's all under this guise of, oh, look, we have a ceasefire, which isn't the end of a war. It's just a ceasefire. I mean,
North Korea has been at war since the 50s or since the 60s because they have a ceasefire in place. There is no actual ending of hostilities. So, yeah, that's exactly correct. And the fact that people are, the Trump sycophants are applauding this and saying that this is the greatest thing ever and all these other kinds of things. You have to have 5 seconds of critical thinking to go, yeah, this is, it's not going to work long term. There's going to be a time and place where this thing's going to be it's going to fall apart. And maybe when they reform the government and they'll say, oh, they broke the ceasefire because this guy who used to be a member of Hamas, he's on the government and that's a violation of it. So we need to go in and just wipe the whole thing out. And this is a problem, Steve, because once the Palestinians or Hamas or whoever gives back all of the hostages, there's no negotiation for them anymore. The reason you take hostages is negotiation. And they had hostages and they blew up the entire area. They turned it into a Walmart parking lot. If there's no hostages for Hamas or any of these others to say, what stops them from just straight bulldozing all of it? Nothing. Nothing at all.
And we got 200 troops going to Israel to support and monitor the Gaza ceasefire deal. The AP told it was a couple hours, 3 hours ago it came out.
Yeah. Okay. Just to
monitor everything they're doing. That's exactly what Reconstruction happened down here. It's a military occupation. They came down. Your Southerners were not allowed to hold office. They rebuilt it. They put other people in charge. They made them ceasefire. They made them let go of their weapons. History repeats. It's going to get ugly. There's people, more starvation, more pain, more suffering is going to happen.
Yeah, and it's going to be now that there was a ceasefire in place, there's nothing to stop it.
No,
there's nothing to stop it, which is the scariest part of this. And so it's a lot of people are celebrating it, but really what this is just a pretext to a final conflict on this. The ending
politically motivated. Bibi was getting his people wanted him out. They might actually, who knows what they would have done if they got to him, but they were not happy with the war. They weren't happy with him. They want him gone, maybe in prison. So maybe this gives them buys them a year or two.
Yeah, not even a year or two. I don't even think a year or two. I think maybe a couple months at best.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the ceasefire stopping anytime. So I would not be shocked if in a couple hours I wake up and I hear, oh yeah, there's more explosions going on. That wouldn't shock me one bit. I actually expect it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they just roll troops in. Just roll troops in and just permanently take it.
Yeah, the phrase is kill them all. That's what you're going to hear from these guys.
And MAGA America will support every last bit of it because that's what they're told to do. That's what they are told to do, and that's what they will support because that's what the talking heads, Bannon, and all those other guys will tell them. That's what we want. We want this done. We want to support Israel. We want to make sure that they get everything that they were supposedly promised, or whatever that phrase is, whatever the is in that regard. But yeah, I think y'all need to be careful. And I'm not worried about this audience, but I think people just need to be very, very careful of the ideas that are being tossed about in this this latest supposed peace deal, peace accord, whatever you want to call it.
Well, there ain't too many Catholic shows that are going to be critical of most favored nation and any of this. They're mostly going to be like, hey, look, they ceasefire, everything's good, we're good. And they're not going to bring up the 15-minute city is about to go on. They're not going to bring in the technocrats are involved. They're not going to bring up that Israel's a terrorist state and lies all of the time or anything like that. It's pretty much going to be milquetoast, vanilla flavored on top. Or maybe worse, maybe like, hey, go support your supportive or something. I don't know. Very few will say anything negative about this.
No, not at all. Because right now we have too many things that are happening here in Tome, in addition to the economy that people are worried about. You also have the ratcheting of tensions throughout the cities, Portland and Chicago. I think Memphis was there for a little bit. Now everybody's kind of
Memphis.
You're not walking through, you are running through Memphis. But the whole idea with that is the insurgency versus the militarization and the high support that people are giving to this is not great. It's not a great thing at all. So we can talk about what's going on with the ICE raids in Portland and Chicago now.
Everyone's seen it. He's threatening to use the Insurrection Act, which would give him, that's another loophole he could use to make this legal, to use military, because he wants to use the military. He's mentioned a couple weeks ago using the cities as military training grounds, his own words. So yeah, right now he's violating Posse Comitatus left and right. You see Oklahoma today or yesterday?
No.
Oklahoma governor comes out against the use of the National Guards. And he says, Oklahomans, would you allow Illinois to bring their National Guard in our state? He goes, Oklahomans would go nuts. I'll see if I can find the article on it. And I'm going, there's a man with truth right there. Anybody with two working brains is going to say, yeah, they're going to have an invasion in my state? No. Now, unless you wave the red, white flag of MAGA, then you don't care. You'll give up your state just for to appease the emperor. But yeah, that was good. That was good on it because that's a red state. And for him to say that, oh, dude, that was fantastic.
Especially when you had Greg Abbott activate his National Guard troops and send them into Chicago, which, by the way, wasn't the greatest look because they were looked like they were from El Paso. But this is yeah, that's great of the Oklahoma governor to actually cite that because it needs to be said. It absolutely needs to be said that the more we militarize, it starts with, oh, the military is there to protect federal buildings and to support immigrations and customs enforcement. But how far does it go from that to occupying street corners and doing things like that?
How about this? We believe in the Federalist system. Hey, I hear you.
Yeah, that's it's funny because the left only uses the idea of federalism right now because it suits their image. And they're like, oh, what about the states' rights in the 10th Amendment and the rights, like, who cares? March the troops in, let's go. And it's not great. Not great at all. Simply because it's going to be a roadmap for future things that we are not going to like.
No,
it's just not. And, you're seeing these people, they crowd the detention facilities, and then the National Guard and these other ones move in, and that sends more people to, because the problem is these people, these agitators, or whatever you want to call them, they're not going away. They are itching for this kind of a fight. And so it's not something that people should be celebrating simply because
there's a reason why they're getting $5,000 signing bonus, student loan forgiveness. By the way, student forgiveness is back. You see that for 2 million people? It's back on the thing, baby.
Oh, for who?
Huh?
For who?
Oh, I'll see if I can find that article real quick. From student
I might need to get a job in one of these places.
They here it is right here. It was Business Insider with that. Apparently, you would have gotten an email about it.
I didn't get an email about it.
Because I would. You can opt out apparently too, which I do not know why anybody would opt out of.
What, getting your loan forgiven? No, I would absolutely do it. I would absolutely take it.
Because it says something about where is it? The department said in its email that a reason to opt out might be to avoid a state tax liability. Like, you know what? I'd risk that.
Yeah, I would too. I would absolutely 100% deal with the one-time tax thing and then have my loan forgiven, then have to deal with the loan, for lack of a better term. So I'm not.
I didn't hear any of the cheerleaders get upset about that, or like, can't believe that was unconstitutional, Brandon, or anything like that. No, it didn't.
Our guy's doing it. Our guy's doing it. It's that simple. When our guy does it, it's fine.
It was quiet. It was quiet on the airways. Benny and those guys were doing other things.
Yeah, well, they were talking about Charlie Kirk and T. Pusa, and that's been a very convenient.
Portland. But Portland, that was a big thing, yeah. Which I saw police reports saying, it wasn't really that big. It was, which shows media. They show you what they want you to see, and you don't see what's going on. I mean, there was a local, I was at the gym and I saw it on Fox, and it was one of those weird things. It was like the camera started, but this was Chicago. And all of a sudden, when the camera started, you see everyone in was it the sheriff and all those guys? They start putting their gas mask on, almost like it was like action, and the camera started too quick. It was literally like everyone started putting it on, like, okay, what are they going to do? And then they stood there. And everyone's just standing with phones out at each other. And then you see Benny walking around, almost like literally nothing was happening. And then action. Everyone started moving, cell phones, people flipping each other off, all this. What's going on the sides? I want to see what's behind this camera. Can you turn that around? I want to see if this, if there is a check 4.
It's it is the wonderful Wizard of Oz, man. Pay no attention. Pay no attention to what's going on behind that camera. Yeah. All that matters is the show that's happening up front. Only thing that matters is the show, and just sit back and enjoy it, I guess. Right? Just sit back and enjoy it. That MAGA is getting, I guess, what they want, which is this, fight against the left and Antifa. Did you hear when Antifa, Pam Bondi was like, we're going to treat Antifa the same as ISIS? And people are like, so you're going to drone strike people in the middle of like Chicago? Is that what we're really going towards?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like, wait a minute. What do you mean by that? I mean, are you literally, it's just like what Trump said, we're going to use the military in these cities, train them.
Yeah, I don't know where that goes. I don't
know. I'm late to work. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Keep the thing ready. Oh, here comes an IPG.
Yeah, move.
RPG. Come.
Why are you driving like zigzag? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I was making like not Terminator, Transformers when they're in Chicago and they got the things blowing up left and right. You're trying to get to work, and that's the new Chicago they're coming up with.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't, what is it? Reality follows fiction. So that's what you have in this regard. You have a little bit of reality, a lot of fiction that is being looked at here. So
Bondi had a fun week. I mean, she's just sitting there getting grilled, and she didn't answer a single question, but she turned around like, how dare, she's new Greta. How dare you speak to me like this? How dare you?
It's just
ma'am, I just asked a yes or no question. You were that man, she was just losing it on people. And they just asking yes or no questions.
Yeah, well, that's the new thing now. All she's doing, Steve, if you think about it, she's just adopting what the rest of them do, which is just cutting these things together, and looking for highlights that MAGA can put out on social media. Like, look at how she's owning the libs. She didn't say anything, but she's owning the libs right now. So
she didn't say a thing. Blew a lot of smoke, and that was it. And do you have photos of Epstein with Trump? I can't believe you looked at bourbon.
Who cares about the Epstein list anymore, right?
That was one of the questions. You said it was on your desk. No, what I said was, that it was on your desk.
It's on video. You literally said it was on your desk. These people pretend that like the internet doesn't exist, or that we don't have video, even video. So it's absolutely,
well, like you said, the people that want to see it will see that, and most of them won't be watching alt media, which will have the posts of the TikTok videos like that or all that. Which again, if you post something like that on there now, you probably get taken down. But it's the hoi polloi won't be seeing the compilation of both sides, even though there's some guys still bringing up, which Massey has mentioned that they don't want to restart the government up because they got a vote coming for the Epstein files.
It's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. I mean, the longer the government is shut down, and both sides right now are like, whatever, the Congress is getting paid. Congress is getting paid. I know Trump was like, oh, I'm going to make sure federal workers are, and I got a ton of pushback last week, and I get a lot of pushback every time I say this. I don't care if federal workers don't get paid.
You talked about the IRS losing so many people. Shut it down.
Yeah. You know what? That's not enough. That's not enough people.
I want unemployment rate in DC to be 100.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that back. Not the mom and pop's place. So that would include, I want the federal government unemployment to be 100%.
Yeah, that's it. There's no need for 70. I said 50%. It's actually getting worse now. Like 75% of the jobs in DC, none of them are effective, and all of them exist to perpetuate the state and make your life miserable. They can shut down the ATF for all I care. I do want them to shut down ATF.
When you
DEA.
drive up to DC, it's not $100,000 homes. It's
No.
900, 1.2. Start. I mean, this was back in 2005, maybe. I flew up to catch an Orioles game with a buddy of mine. First time in Baltimore, first time there in, I don't know, 20, 30 years. And 30, probably about 30 years. And I remember crossing the river, and they said home starting in 1.2 million or something like that. Back then, it's all federal jobs. So when you got all these federal jobs, it's not like, back in the day when the senators and House reps lived together in these pent up, rooms that they didn't want to be there. So they would go home to their districts and all. No, these guys live in penthouses now up there, raking it in. And we just think, oh, that's fun. Let's vote for another guy.
Our public servants, Steve.
Yeah, our public servants.
Mike Church has it right when he calls DC Crane City, because it's always building. There's always buildings going up. It's the only place that wasn't affected in 2008. It's the only thing that's not affected right now in any kind of economic turmoil, which is why, the economy's great for them. Yeah. Economy's great for them. They're good. They're making their money. They're getting their insider stock trades. They're getting all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but the lobbyists, the insider, all those guys. I mean, what you want to do is you should hope they never go back to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that doesn't bother me. Yeah, work. Their work is going on either MSNBC or Fox News all day, and talking about what they could be doing. Well, we could be passing benefits for the American people and trying to get people back. Shut up! No, you don't care. You don't do anything when you're there. You don't do anything when you're there. You get paid way too much, and nobody. That's why Franklin was worried about paying these type of people, because he said it's only going to attract the worst of the worst to these people.
Yeah. Power and money combined is going to make the worst of the worst. They're separate, not bad. Put them together, worse the worst. And what do you have? You have any angels up there? Maybe Massey's good, and Rand Paul. But outside of that, can you name anybody that's worth anything?
Yep. Nope. Not at all. I mean, sometimes MGT is good for a soundbite every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
But, the few and far between. And far between.
It's like that one video of the one guy, you give me any kind of money, I'll believe whatever you want me to believe.
Yeah. It's just, once again, these things that take place, and everybody just is too caught up in the red versus blue dynamic, right? We have to make sure our guy does the job, and those guys, we have to stomp out the Democrats, and we have to do all these kinds of other things, and it's just all sideshow. It's all sideshow, and none of this stuff is even close to working for you or me or anybody listening to this show right now. And it's pathetic. It really is. When that's why lately, when I do my daily shows, I don't want to say I've checked out, but I don't do as much as I was doing before, because it just all seems just worthless, because none of this stuff is going to change. Now, if you're if you're a card carrying member of MAGA, greatest time ever to be in politics. Team's winning and your team's putting the boot on the neck. I'm just too concerned being like, okay, yeah, well, this is great right now, but A, hasn't really helped us with any of this, and B, it's precedent upon precedent is being set, and people, of course, always come back and say, well, Rick, they're going to do it anyway. They're going to do it anyway. They've done it before, so we need to do it now. Okay, if that's your argument that you want to make, then you and I don't really have much else to talk about in that regard.
Again, it goes into the failure idea of centralization, because they were like, oh, they're going to do it anyways. Okay, here's a group that, would you think that they're going up against Google, a town, and guess what they did? They told Google to go pound sand, and Google left.
Yep.
This was about a data center that was going into nowhere, Illinois, or was it Indiana? I think it was Indiana. And it got 7,600 people got together, created a Facebook group, got together, talked to their council, talk to each other in churches, schools, community centers. By the time it got to the hearing, the place was City Hall was jam packed, and Google ended up saying, "We're done. We're not doing it."
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
David versus freaking Goliath. And he goes,
Yeah.
"What people say, well, this was do or die. We came with the fight with everything we had against it, and it brought us all together." Do you think centralized government DC does that to anybody? No, that doesn't do it. But these people acted locally, thought locally, and beat out a data center ran by Google.
Yeah, you can do it if you actually care about what's happening in your town. If you actually
Yeah.
care about what's happening in your
Yeah.
locality.
You can't do anything to DC. That's the mentality. You can't fix that. You could fix your backyard. You can stop that from happening in your backyard. Can't fix up there. They're too far away. They don't care for you. They make more money than you.
I
These
mean,
guys,
you can even trace it back. Democrats believe in it in some way as well, because remember when AOC drove out Amazon, right?
Yeah.
She got a bunch of people together and they made a bunch of noise, and Amazon was like, you know what? It doesn't take a lot, just a little negative publicity, and these corporations run.
Yeah.
Because because their mentality is, we don't need to do it here if these people want to, because we'll go somewhere else where nobody's paying attention, and we'll just set up shop there. So you just need to do a little bit of just groundwork and trying to believe that the local mentality, the way this stuff was actually put together, actually works. But a lot of people don't even know that, Steve. So they don't. How can they believe in it when they don't know it?
Yeah, that was what Illinois, Indiana, Illinois, just country folk up in that area. It wasn't North South Carolina, or people that you would think that they're just trying to ramage through their own state rights thing. Those people in the Midwest figured it out. And they're not alone. There's been many, probably a dozen I could think of. Even here in Mooresville, North Carolina, they had the Earnhardts wanted to sell their land for it, and they ended up, the city got together and squashed that. I said, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, it's up to people to figure out. Them. Most people are just care about, hey, let me turn Fox News on. Hey, what's going on in my backyard? I have no idea. It's on fire. Let me watch Fox. That's most people.
Yeah, Peter, I know they're going to adapt and things like that, but you can still make noise. You can still make noise and speak out against it.
Yeah, they're going to
I understand exactly what you're saying, Peter. They are going to adapt if they really want it, but at the same time, that doesn't mean we should give up.
No. And every time you come in, figure out how to beat them again. Eventually, they probably will win. But I mean, it's either laying down, let them walk over you, or fighting back. Maybe you beat them,
or you prevent them from doing it. Then you have to make them spend more money, more time, and all these other kinds of things, which is stuff they don't want to do.
Yeah,
right.
Especially if it's in your backyard, it's going to screw up. Hey, look at your kids. Say, "Hey, I'm going to fight for you." I mean, that's all our motivation. I mean, I'm not going to just say, "Hey, hey, they're gonna. It's inevitable. We'll just let them go in and do it." Imagine I couldn't look my kid in the face and say, "Yeah, I laid down on that one."
Yeah, and it is because it can. And I know Steve and I every week we come on here, and it seems like it's just overwhelming. But really, the whole point of it is, focus on the thing that's most important, which is, holy death and a blessed eternity. Really, just focus on your town and your state at the most. Too many people get sucked into the national thing, where they do get distraught. Well, we can't do anything here. We can't do anything where you might not win every battle, Pete. Peter, you might not win every battle, but if your town can get a reputation for being a bunch of jerks that nobody wants to deal with, that's not
how you really beat it.
No.
It's gonna be a crazy idea. You know how you really beat that? You get all your people that are like-minded around you to run for office. You take over the county, city, state, all that. Guess how many data centers come in when you're in charge of your hometown? Ain't nobody. Yeah. You get to the city thing. You say, no, get out. You're in charge of your own town.
Yep. And if they want, make them come in and force it on you, right? Yeah. Make them have to go to that extra level.
Yeah, even if it comes down to they have laser guns and we have pitchforks. Doggone it, go for it.
There's really,
Take a rock and throw it. Maybe you hit them in the forehead and they all explode because of one.
Yeah. There's at least the hope that you can push back. And I get it. The tax revenue is a big thing. That's where they get it. I know there's been problems.
Yeah.
That, there's been problems in my locality right now that they're ruining, awesome places because of tax and it's the boomer mentality. Oh, we got to get that tax revenue in here because they don't care. They don't care what's going to happen to future generations because they're on the way out. So they're more than happy to do so, and that's where it comes incumbent to at least tell them, it's not worth it here.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, the wealthy do it all the time. That they NIMBY all the stuff when there's even a hint of something going near their backyard. Yeah. So, you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to try and do that as well.
You just have to, no quit. You got to keep, got to fight them back every chance you get.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's good to see that people are doing that. I mean, that's very promising. Shows you that it works. And, yeah, I mean, like you said, when people feel bad, I mean, I was talking to somebody in California. I didn't know most of the stuff that's going on in California. Why? Because I don't live in California.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way you're going to know everything that happens in every state in the world. That's physically, mentally impossible to do. But you can know almost everything that goes on in your backyard.
Yeah, exactly. It's incumbent upon you, since you live there, to know what's happening in these places.
Yeah.
So, yeah, makes a perfect amount of sense in that regard.
So there's some good news in the stories this week, I thought.
Yep.
I actually got a kind of good news one is the Saint of the Week right now.
Oh, yeah. Is that what yeah. Are you going with your Saint of the Week right now? You going first?
You want to go ahead and do that? I'm fine with that.
Fine. So for my Saint of the Week, I actually will give Trump one of my very rare nowadays, but often desired good Trumps, which is not Steve's. It's mine. Trump proclaims Monday, October 13th, Columbus Day is back. So I'll take Columbus Day. Good Catholic, right? Reestablish that. So I'll take that as a good Trump. Bring back Columbus Day. Happy about that. That is a good thing. Same administration. Bad Pam Bondi. Earlier this week, she convinced a federal judge to order one of these gun rights groups called the Second Amendment Foundation to turn over a list of the members in the organization. And she said, well, it's because you guys are trying to get firearms for people under 21. So I need a list of the people under 21. No, Pam Bondi, no lists for you. Not now, not ever. So Pam Bondi continuing to polish her reputation as a gun-grabbing bimbo. So that's my Saint of the Week, which was good on Trump for getting Columbus Day back on the menu, and bad Trump for having his bimbo attorney general try to get a list of gun owners. Boo. Boo to you, Pam Bondi. Boo to you.
Boo.
What is it? What's the phrase? It's not boo. It's something, but
how dare you?
How dare you? That's exactly it. Yes. So those are mine.
All right, I'll go with the state of South Kakalaki for my Saint of the Week because
you guys are going to elect Nancy Mace.
Actually, the state house is looking to banish abortion in total. The Unborn Child Protection Act, or Senate Bill 323, would eliminate long-standing exceptions for cases of rape, incest, and fatal fetal I can't speak. It would also expose doctors and others to assist in performing abortions to both criminal prosecution and civil lawsuits.
So wait, is it getting rid of the exemption?
Yes.
Oh, that is awesome news. Yes. That is fantastic news.
And on the other, I mean, this also has the bill's broad language could also impact miscarriage care, contraception, and fertility treatments. It's a near total abortion ban that would classify performing or aiding an abortion as a felony.
As it should be.
So, among the, let's see, the reason why this was an article about 300 people showed up to protest. So, yeah, all 300 of them. It removes.
You're probably bust in too.
Maybe it removes terms such as fetal heartbeat and replaces them with language that defines life as beginning at fertilization rather than at viability or a specific gestational age. Bill would also eliminate judicial bypass, a legal option that allows minors to obtain abortions without parental consent. Exceptions in pregnancies resulting in rape or incest, as well as others fetal conditions, would be repealed. Even in emergency deliveries after 19 weeks, doctors would be legally required to attempt to preserve the life of the fetus, regardless of the medical prognosis. Under the proposed law, violations could result in severe penalties up to 30 years in prison if an abortion results in the death of the fetus, up to 25 years if the fetus survives an abortion attempt. Also adds wrongful death provision, allowing family members to sue on behalf of the unborn child, a move that could signal a broader recognition of fetal personhood under South Carolina law. It's a McMaster who will sign it if he ever gets on his desk. They don't know if it has enough to pass both the House chambers.
I know you guys have had stuff like that in the past and it's gotten knocked down.
It's been gradual. They've been doing stuff like 20 weeks, 16 weeks, 12 weeks. Now somebody just went, all right, let's go spike the ball.
Yeah.
Not to have one thing with both cry room in there too, but I'm going, hey, where's LifeSite? Where's Leela? Where's Pro-Life Inc. on this? If they're having protests, right? Why in the heck aren't these guys who have all this money in the pro-life industry at South Carolina helping out with whatever's going on, lobbying, whatever? And I'm not looking for, I'm not for outsiders coming in the area to lobby and all this. But these guys are supposed to be pro-life all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows about this.
Well, that just goes back to the fact that they don't care about local issues. It's only federal for them because that's where the money is.
Yeah,
that's where the money is. Because they had a gala like 2 weeks ago, right? Remember they had that gala they were taking pictures in front of. They were too busy planning for the gala than actually worrying about life issues.
Give me the 14 million that these guys are apparently rolling in. I'm not going to go to galas. Maybe I'll actually do something about it. And I mean,
you don't need to give me 14. You give me like $1 million. I'll figure something out.
That'd be like, just give me some cheese.
I'll be like Buc-ee's here in Texas on 35. Every other billboard is a Buc-ee's billboard. You give me like $5 million. I'll make every billboard that's empty in these United States a pro-life billboard. And I will just spam it because that's one of the ways you do it. You just go after it that way.
Dude, it's just amazing that nobody's even, I've actually told pro-lifers in there and they haven't said anything about it. I told a buddy of mine who just did an interview with LifeSite. He goes, how have I not heard about this?
Nope.
Right?
I mean, we barely heard anything about that DC Cathedral that, was attempted. There was an attempted attack on.
Yeah. Right? I wondered when I saw that, I was wondering if that was pre-crime that helped out.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. It could possibly be something like that. I know the only reason they caught it is because it was the red mass done by the cardinal, and it had an extra layer of security because the SCOTUS justices were there and all these legal personnel were there. So if they didn't have that extra layer, I'm sure with that, Steve, pre-crime was used.
Because it said something about their Facebook or social media accounts were looked at. Man, it was Gideon used for that.
I absolutely wouldn't disagree if it was. I wouldn't be doubting if it was, because that's part of the playbook for them. That's part of their arsenal, if you will, for what they use. So it is what it is in that regard.
I guess my crime room part would be Trump's abortion pill shatters his and Vance's pro-life facade.
Yep, I saw that today too. That is also very correct. Yep.
And they did get the old Catholic Caroline Levitt on record. It's not an endorsement of this drug by any means. They are just simply following the law.
Yeah, she went with the old "we were just following orders" thing.
Yep. And another, it's been a federalism type show today, huh? Oklahoma, South Kakalaki. Here's Louisiana is suing Trump's FDA to block mail order abortion pills in the state. Man, these are some red states going after some of this stuff. This is fantastic. Now, if we could just let them break away, I'd be even happier. But hey, there's some good movements going on.
Well, you're also seeing, a rise in more states taking accountability, trying to say, listen, this is where we'll handle it here, and we'll do that, and that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that taking place. We can even trace that all the way back to the governor of Oklahoma and the way he was talking. That's a very states first mentality. So
Oklahoma, good on Oklahoma. They're the state of the month right now for saying something. We are not, because I mean that's not popular. They're like, hey, hey Jack, that's swinging at Jack and all those guys. And no, we're not going to have that. We believe in state rights. Whoa, that doesn't go with the MAGA 411.
No, even though it did. It's ironic enough when Trump went in 2016, they talked a lot about the 10th Amendment, but Trump Part 2, there's no talking about the 10th Amendment.
That's the motto. Trump Part 2, forget the
10th. When he returns. So
speaking of that, basically a sequel. Do you see that Passion of the Christ second one won't have Caviezel in it?
He's talked about being in it.
I saw some report today. It said that Caviezel will not be in it, and the lady that played in Mary Magdalene, she won't be in it. They're going to they're getting different actors for it. Maybe it was a bunk article.
Let me see.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Like, wow, he's not in.
No, he's talked about. He went on Arroyo's show and talked about how he's going to be on it already. So
maybe I found fake news.
He's listed on right now. He's listed on IMDb as there's only 3 people that have been confirmed, and that's him, the woman who played Mary, and the guy who played Peter. Those are the only guys that have officially been listed for the resurrection.
So I came from this right here as the exclusive. The original cast won't be resurrected. And that's what it meant coming here. What was the one here? Where was it at? It had it in there. Oh, there is. They're meeting with other actors in Rome. Another source said they switched it up because they had to do a lot of work on the actors, digital stuff, plus the scheduling. There's Caviezel won't return as Christ.
Well, let's see.
Could be. I mean, that came out today. I don't know what. I saw that stumbling through.
Let me just do something real quick here. Let me filter this to any time the past week.
Carry the 2.
Shush yourself. Let's see. No. It says, so they're gonna do de-aging. So that's how they're gonna go after it. It could be one of those sites that, they may be using a different actor if they want to do like younger scenes or child scenes or something like that, but I don't know. I wouldn't, until Mel officially says it or Jim officially says it, I wouldn't believe any of that stuff. So yeah, but we'll keep our eye on it, guys, just in case. See if Steve's right or if he's not
5th or 10th or 20th at that day.
Yeah, right. We won't even make the song. All right, folks. That's it for this episode of News from the Pew. Please like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew. We'll talk to you all next week. God bless, and Viva Cristo Rey. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.